Hello, and we are live. Welcome everybody to the most vibrant Thursday night at Startup TNT Summit. We are going to be rocking and rolling, and especially after that music intro. Who couldn't? I was jibbing. I was giving a little jive. I guess before we start, we do want to give a little a land acknowledgement. We are in the traditional territories of the Nisqually, Crowfoot, Blackfoot Confederacy, and the people of the Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. I guess before I yammer on too much, I would like to introduce my fellow co-host here, one of them anyway. Neil, why don't you give yourself a little introduction?
Hey everyone, I'm super excited to be here. As Jade said, I'm co-hosting with him tonight, one of the volunteer lead ambassadors for Startup TNT in Calgary. I joined as an investor in the first Calgary Summit last fall, and I've loved the community building, the angel training, and the entrepreneur support. So I'm really pumped to see 20 great pitches tonight.
I am also pumped. I can't wait to see these 20 pitches. I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Jade Alberts, the other lead ambassador. I'm an entrepreneur, angel investor, and founder of Pure Guidance Purpose Before Profit. I love telling it like it is. I love our ecosystem, but I also want to give a big shout out to the other two ambassadors that help us out here in Calgary. Whether we're the Four Amigos or the Fantastic Four, whatever you want to call us. I'm sure there'll be some really fun names we can come up after a few drinky poos tonight. But Trevor and Dave, how are things looking down at Craft? I guess they probably can't come off mute, can they? Or maybe we don't even want them to be, right? But again, it is a top 20 pitch night for the summits. It's our third summit in Calgary. I can't believe that Startup TNT has been running for 2.5 years. So we'll give a quick little breakdown on how it works. Each company gets a 3-minute pitch and then a 2-minute Q&A. There is going to be a hard stop after 5 minutes. So these companies are ready. They're raring to go. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We want to make sure that, we do get these questions. They do have a chance to answer them. If you have any that we don't get to, keep putting them in there. The entrepreneurs will answer them after the fact. Our philosophy here is to have fun, make friends, and build companies. And Startup TNT has been getting the community together for 2.5 years. And today we are delighted to report that we are going to be doing this in 4 cities: Calgary, Edmonton, Regina, and Saskatchewan. So we are pretty pumped. I didn't get the thing out, my background up, but as you can see, we have very many sponsors. We will get to them throughout the night. But I'm going to hand it off to Neil now and let him talk about the next little bit.
Perfect. Thanks, Jade. We got lots of pitches to get through, so I'll keep this short. So as you know, we're doing our top 20 pitch night. We got 4 companies that are veterans of previous summits, and we got 16 exciting other businesses to learn about. This is all just one step in final investment decision that's going to be made on November 18th. So Startup TNT isn't a pitch competition. It's real investors doing team-based due diligence, building relationships with each other, and our awesome founders through an 8-week process. So we're having fun, making friends, and building companies. The other thing is we don't just provide one investment prize for the winner of the summit. We love side deals here. And that's how our community's raised $3.9 million for 24 companies over the last 125 weeks. As a community here, we firmly believe that it's our role to build out the startup community we want for ourselves. So I encourage you all to take part of that community right now. So listen to these pitches tonight. Think about how you can help some of these companies. Ask questions in the chat, cheer them on. If you think you can make some intros that would help some of these companies, please do so. Mentor them if there's an opportunity. And then lastly, keep the chat active. Say hello in the chat. Talk to someone you know. Talk to someone you don't know. Schedule a catch-up coffee or another beverage. And I think that's it. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to John Fisher with our great friends at CBRE. Jade's going to be handling the question periods for this section, and we'll let John handle it.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Jade. Thanks, Jocelyn. Thanks, all the folks at Craft. I'm jealous. I've got FOMO. It's been three Startup TNT Summits. I've hosted now for the 3rd time. I'm a sponsor, I'm a host, and I'm an investor as well. My day job in the right corner here, right about there, CBRE, we're real estate agents for tech companies. We help tech companies find office spaces and lab spaces when they need them. So if you need anything, give me a shout. We love being a big part of this community because we love what it does for our province and raising money to create a diverse industry. So we're really excited, and I'm particularly excited to be here for tonight's lineup. Now, speaking of lineups, our very first speaker has everything to do with lineups. Alina, are you with me? I see you there. Are you ready to go, Alina? Because it's
I'm
your
ready
time.
to go. Yep,
All right.
I'm ready to go.
Tell us about lineups, Alina.
All right, I'm just going to share my screen here. Great. All right, let's get started. How many years do you think you wait standing in line? 5 years is the average. Wait better, wait well. I'm Alina Martin, and I'm the CEO of WaitWell. Joining me today is Steve Vandermeulen, our co-founder. Our goal is to create 1 billion raving customer fans. Our mission is to give every company the ability to see inside their service operations in real time. According to a 2020 Walker study, customer experience will overtake price and product as a key brand differentiator. We have built a proprietary queue management system that provides virtual ticketing that can be used for queuing, appointment, and crowd control management. To date, 1.6 million people have been through our platform. Our platform has some of the most robust workflow and data analytics on the market. How do we know this? Because we keep winning against our competitors. Our leadership team has a combined 90 years of experience building and scaling technology and SaaS companies. We have the track record to build a $100 million company. Look familiar? Is everything. Experience is everything, and you don't have many chances to get it right. HubSpot has been monitoring what's called experience disruptors, the idea that companies are not winning any longer by innovation alone. They're winning by reinventing the treatment we come to expect out of companies as consumers. These companies are eliminating friction. A 5% increase in customer retention rates results in a 25% increase in profit. This is the problem WaitWell solves. The customer experience market is growing at a 12% CAGR rate. It's estimated to be a $15 billion market by 2025. So how does it work? Visitors join a virtual queue one of 4 ways. These customers then receive a notification on their phone via text, letting them know their position in line and estimated wait time. Internally, customer service agents are able to manage the queues within our online platform. Agents are able to assign customers to themselves, to others, move customers around, deal with exceptions, and even put customers on hold as not to lose their position in line. One of the most important features of our platform is our dashboard, which shows real-time and historical information. This data is powerful. With WaitWells, our client get the best insights from which to answer their why questions and make better data-based decisions. In 1 year, we've been able to book $250,000 in revenue. These are some of our customers. There is no industry we cannot tackle. What's next? Showcased in this graph outlines 3 key milestones in the evolution of our customer journey. The future for us is big data and AI. We're looking to raise $2 million, which will allow us to enter new markets and capture more customers. Thank you.
Wow, great presentation. It's like you've done this before.
Thanks so much.
So I guess I have so once I log on to the app, I just I can just sit in my car, or where do I have to stay?
Yeah. So here's the thing, there is no app. So that's one of the key features actually of our system. And so there are 4 ways to get into line. So I'll just give you a quick DMV exercise. Yep. So you go to the DMV, get your driver's license. You can do it one of 4 ways. You can do it before you get there. So you could do it online. You could Google the DMV. You could get in line there. You get a little pop-up on your phone that says, thanks, Jade, you are 12th in line. Your estimated wait time is 27 minutes. We then update you throughout, so you are in real time. Or you can drive up to the store and you kind of can't scan the QR code on the front door, or you can text the number, and that will also get you in line.
Okay. So who are your competitors, and how do you differentiate yourself from them?
Yeah, so there are a couple of competitors in the space, in the queuing market. I would say there's probably about 4 or 5 of us that are sort of in what we call the horse race right now. One of our massive competitive advantages, and one of the reasons we're winning, is our data set. So our platform was built by folks who understand lineups. So the workflow that's built inside the platform, along with the data capture and the dashboarding, is really edging us against the competitors. We've been able to win a considerable amount of business against our competitors due to those couple of features.
Ah, nice. Sweet. Noel has a question here. Does it integrate with other channels? For example, being able to chat or SMS while text in line?
Yes. So the other thing is we do have an API integration. So if you talk about kind of big data integration as well, not only can it do that, but we're also doing some integrations with Salesforce right now with a customer in New York.
Ooh, that sounds pretty big. So do you have any, I mean, you had some very impressive numbers and clients. Are there any other big ones in your sales pipeline?
Yeah, we're not as big as kind of the Calgary Stampede, but we do have one very large bid out right now, and Steve can probably speak to this. We were talking about it today, is with Service Canada. So we've got a couple of big ones in the hopper that we've been shortlisted for. So that's exciting.
Wow, that's awesome. And that is 5 minutes on the nose. That was an excellent, Lena. Thank you very much. That was the perfect way to kick it off. John, back to you.
Clean and tidy presentation, Alina. I really appreciate that. Speaking of clean and tidy, our next presenter actually brings happiness into homes. So I hear, and I'm super pumped as a consumer of household cleaning services. I'm super pumped to hear William hit us with the knowledge. William, you ready to go, man?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, let's do it. The floor is yours.
You see my screen?
We can.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm William Scott from Home Spritz. We're a managed house cleaning marketplace. Have you ever used a house cleaning service before? If you have, the experience isn't always great, and that's what we found. So we find that if you're with a company, you get a different cleaner every cleaning, and that kind of creates traffic concerns and also COVID concerns these days. And also there's just a lot of turnover that causes that. And then you also get varying quality from that. So your house, you form a relationship with that cleaner, and your house needs to be cleaned a certain way. They know your dog, they know your kids, they know your schedule, and it works really well for you. The last part of this is that there's no communication or relationship with that cleaner. The company just sends people, whoever is available at the time, or they switch people, or they do their best effort to have the same cleaner, but it doesn't always work out with your schedule. For Home Spritz, our value proposition is to change house cleaning from a gig, is how it's looked at now, is to turn it into a profession. So offering these cleaners a living wage, tools, training, skills to actually stay in this for a lifelong job rather than just, a temporary position in their life. So our solution to this problem is to bring in a living wage. A living wage creates first retention with our cleaners, with our company. It also gets them to stick around and be interested in their work and form those relationships. Those relationships building with the customers is what we've been finding really creates retention. So if our cleaner has a good relationship with our customer, there's retention. And if we can retain our cleaners, we have this really positive retention cycle on our recurring cleanings. Next is to offload some customer service by letting our cleaners be empowered to create communication and scheduling changes for themselves. And we put this onto a marketplace platform where we actually take care of the payments and charge a fee for it. Our aim is to go up with 8.8 million houses in North America that actually use a house cleaning service that have $100,000 income and over. And we want to reach 1% of that market in 5 years for 84,000 cleanings a month. Currently, we've been scaling through realtor partnerships. So it's a really low cost entry strategy. We've gone from $4,000 in revenue in January to over $22,000 this month with customer acquisition costs of less than $58. And when we raise money, we plan to add in, cost per click SEO and some social media as well. So that'll raise the cost of acquisition. And hopefully once we're going full bore, we'll buy out some residential companies and fold them into the platform. Our team consists of Yansel Kang, who's a master's of social work. She manages our relationships with our customers and our cleaners, which is extremely important for us. Nick does our development. We moved off our MVP in January, and we've really been growing since. And then I take care of finance and marketing, fundraising, and a little bit of everything in between. So why now? COVID's over. Big gap in the marketplace. Cleaning companies went out of business. People cancel cleanings. There's a big gap between the rich and the poor, which we're filling with living wage. So our revenue model, we get an 18% blended gross profit, taking about a 25% fee. We stand apart with living wages, keeps our cleaners with us, and our communication and relationship with our customers really makes our retention positive. So we're looking to raise $300,000 for about 12 to 18 months of growth capital. Looking to get our investors some money with share buyback or possibly a buyout if we can find a company that loves us. Thank you.
Great job, William. You went a little over, so we're not going to have a whole lot of time for questions, but I'm just going to pull these ones out of the chat. So from Edon, what's your strategy to acquire cleaners opposed to customers?
Yeah, so cleaners has not really been a huge problem for us. So just using Indeed and Facebook jobs, we've been finding really quality cleaners, but we're going to use SEO just to make sure that we come up number one in house cleaning jobs, which is a really underserved keyword as well.
Okay, so I mean, how do the cleaners who establish relationships, let's say I hire them, why are they, could they just skip the app and say, I'll cut you out and here you go, Jade, I'll give you a deal?
You think that would happen, but it just doesn't happen. There's some Harvard Business Review evidence that points that that's kind of just an uncommon reaction to a low fee marketplace. So we haven't experienced it.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. I guess there's a couple here that they can tie them into one. Any issues around insurance and litigations, and are they bonded?
Yeah, so cleaners are not bonded. They're all criminal background checks, skill tested, and they are responsible for their own insurance. Home Spritz is insured separately.
Perfect. Well, excellent, William. That was a great presentation. There are probably 4 or 5 questions you should answer in the chat. And
Sure.
Thanks again. And John, back to you.
Thank you.
Great, thanks, Jade, and great presentation, William. Moving on and moving to improve, actually, is our next. I got to stop with these puns eventually.
You're in a zone.
I know. What can I say? I was going to say cleaning's backbreaking work, and I threw my back out a year ago. If only I knew Andrea then. Here to talk to us about Move and Improve. Andrea, are you ready to roll? Andrea. Looking for Andrea from Move and Improve. Andrea, if you can hear me, pop on. If not, we're going to move on and we will get back to you at the end here. Give you one more sec. Okay. We're going to take a little detour, but we'll get back to Andrea at the end. Do I have Aman on the line? Aman, can you hear me from Drishya AI Labs?
Yes, I am.
Right on. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing all about it. Obviously, a very timely topic in Alberta. Tell us a little bit about how you're making energy intelligent.
Certainly. Let me share my screen. 1 second. Share. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can.
That's very good. My name is Aman Brar, and I am the co-founder of Drishya AI. Drishya actually means vision in Sanskrit language. So we are a deep tech company in the business of AI for digital oil and gas based in Calgary, Canada, and have a subsidiary in Bangalore, India. Our mission is to make energy intelligent and clean. Okay, and a couple of examples where AI can help. Operation managers are dealing with massive amounts of industrial data that they are struggling to improve plant efficiency. And engineers spend thousands of hours manually, basically reviewing those engineering drawings. This is very tedious and costly. These combined results into billions of dollars of missed opportunities. Our AI and digital oil and gas solution basically drive insights from multiple data sources like historians, alarm, work logs, cost data. And these solutions comprise of intelligent soft sensors, predictive assistance, assistive health management, and smart alarm management kind of things. And these collectively help improve efficiency, sustainability, and reduce costs. These outcomes are achieved through engineering digitalization and AI ML enablement. In engineering digitalization, our AI engine sees and reads engineering drawings like an engineer so that it can convert PDFs to CAD drawings in seconds and automate engineering workflows to complete complicated tasks like fugitive emission studies in minutes, leading to overall reduction of over 10% in engineering costs alone. And in AI ML enablement, we make historians intelligent by adding brains to data. So this allows us to make industrial equipment S4 capable, that is a self-monitor, self-diagnose, self-operate, and self-optimize, and which can increase efficiency by up to 10% while saving approximately 5 to 7% in operational costs alone. The global market for AI in the energy sector is more than 8 billion, and it's growing at 22% CAGR. engineering and procurement companies and oil and gas producers in Calgary are our initial $100 million target market. In 18 months, we have achieved $700,000 in sales year to date and expect to close the year at 1.2 million in sales and target 3 million of sales next year, and on the path to acquire our first 5 paying customers within this year. We have raised $650,000 in pre-seed funding and nearly $250,000 in a free cloud from Microsoft and Amazon. Within the next 6 months, we'll close a seed round of $3 million and hit 50,000 MRR. By next year, we'll expand to US and Mideast and do pilots with and patent our operating Volt OS, our smart grid operating system. So none of these accomplishments would be possible without our team, which cumulatively have over 200 years of expertise. And at the end, we are raising $3 million. And thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to address any questions which you might have. Thank you.
Great job, man. That was excellent. You went a little long, but we do have a couple questions here we should be able to get to. The first one is, can this tool validate P and IDs against standards and rules?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we have a lot of modules there which we can do right now. We can even compare PNIDs, and we can create a digital version of the plant. And I would gladly do a demo for them if they would like to connect with me. There are a lot. It's a very, very impressive tool, and engineering companies do get really excited when they look at it.
Well, I have to agree with you. I've seen the demo, and RD gave me a demo. So if anybody wants to see it, it is impressive. That's for sure. Another question is, what size of the companies are buying the tech?
Right now, we are trying the small and medium. You know, the big ones are small to move. They're big elephants, so it take a long time to make decisions. But mid-sized companies are our best target right now.
Mid-size. And are you, I mean, I know you said global, but are you going to focus more in North America to start?
That's an obvious choice to start with, but we will be going global. But right now, our beachhead market is Calgary. That's where we are focusing. And we just don't want to spread ourselves thin. So, but that we will do probably by the second half of next year. We'll be expanding out of Canada.
Excellent. Great presentation, Ayman. If there's any questions in the chat, please reach in there and answer them. And we're glad to know that Andrea's back. So John, back to you.
Back to me, back to Andrea. Andrea, I can see you now. So thanks for joining us again. Sorry we had to skip over you there, but the floor is now yours. Please take the floor.
Thank you so much. It's amazing how a bio break can get in the way. Let me do this. I'm going to share my screen. Perfect. And is everybody seeing that up at the front? Amazing. Yep. Okay. So imagine for a moment being a physical therapist helping their patients through pain. Physical therapy is a struggling business. Patient retention is the #1 concern that keeps clinic owners up at night because they have a hard time getting patients like me to complete their full course of treatment. As a result, the average physical therapy practice loses out on $250,000 in revenue each year. And COVID isn't helping things either because schedules are only half full. Move Improve is a self-correcting tool that helps patients get faster results at home. So our patented process is scientifically proven to get better outcomes. We essentially shorten the distance between awkward and clumsy to automatic and confident movement. To help you better understand, meet Jack. He's going to Dr. Phil for treatment, and in the last 10 minutes, he uses Move Improve on his mobile phone to review the home exercises. Move Improve makes the content interactive and engaging with master video, side-by-side comparison, simple questions to walk you through the process, and a point system to make it fun. Then at home, Jack feels confident doing the exercises. His score goes up with each try. He starts to feel better, and he's excited to see Dr. Phil at his next appointment. Why rehabilitation? Because 15% of the population are already paying for these services, and that's $39 billion in opportunity in North America alone. And we already have customers paying us to build skill training apps for their patients a year ahead of schedule. Aside from proven outcomes and patented technology, the biggest differentiator is our content creation platform. With our Creator Studio, we can make custom mobile apps for physical therapists in hours versus months. For example, university students were able to create Move Improve mobile apps in less than 2 hours in a single lab. In addition, this digital platform also gives us the ability to achieve 80% gross profit margin. We've developed content and tested out Move Improve with several organizations. We've already generated $45,000 in sales with additional deals on the table with our current customers. Currently, we charge physical therapy clinics for consulting and production of these mobile apps, and then subscription and licensing fees for distribution of content, as well as data analytics and reporting services. Next, we're going to bring on our project managers to continue to pilot out our back-end Creator Studio. Once we get to 1,000 titles, which will then launch the Move Improve store to pilot our direct-to-consumer and our profit-sharing model. And then once we get to 500 content partners, we'll then launch the do-it-yourself Creator Studio to scale and grow at a significant pace. In 2022, we're forecasting 400,000 for our next 10 customers. And then in 2023, 3.2 million with the release of our Move Improve store and the do-it-yourself Creator Studio. Although we're starting out small, it's the right combination of knowledge, grit, expertise, and business building street smart to scale the business right. We're raising 500,000 to add experts to our team to grow the business and provide them all the tools they'll need to be successful. In addition, we'll be looking for customers and advisors in the digital platform and healthcare space. So at Move Improve, we're shortening the distance between awkward and automatic when it comes to learning new skills. And in partnership with physical therapy clinics, we're on a mission to help people feel more confident and more capable so they can live healthier, pain-free lives. Thank you.
Great job, Andrea. I can speak about awkwardness. There's no doubt there. There's a lot of great questions in there, so let's get to a few of them. But is there an IP for this tool? Is there anything? What's proprietary?
So we have the patented process in combination with multimedia platform. So we have our patents protected in both the US. We have them both approved in the US and Canada, as well as our trademarks.
Okay.
And that's 30 years of experience, 30 years of scientific research that's gone behind this.
And what does the competitive landscape look like? Are there any hurdles to overcome when creating these programs for your clients?
At this point in time, there are video-based tools that are just like watching a YouTube video, but it isn't interactive. It doesn't actually create self-awareness of the learner, and it's not fun and not motivating. The other thing is it's also printed handouts. So it's either video on your phone, video on YouTube, or handouts that are really those competitors on the landscape right now.
And I know you had a subscription model in there, but you also had going direct to consumers. Wouldn't that kind of be biting the hand that feeds you?
Well, that's why we're actually learning as we go, reinvesting that money to scale. So once we build out our B2B model, because their customers are the ones using it, we're actually going to do a profit share. So then that actually gets them get more customers that are outside the clinic. So it ends up building an entire marketing strategy around that. But we're learning as we go. We're actually going to be pivoting as the market tells us how to. But that is an opportunity that we're testing out right now because we could make some money at it.
There's nothing wrong with making money. So that's great. Great job. Great pitch. And there are a ton of questions in the chat, Andrea. Please go and ask them. And John, you're up, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great idea. Like I said, I think I'm a big consumer of physio these days. So looking forward to seeing your product hitting a physio near me soon. Part of the reason why I need physio so much is the favorite thing I have is coffee. And our next presenter upcycles in that area. I'm really excited to hear Sean's story. Sean, are you prepared and ready to tell us the story of GroundUp? You're on mute, my friend.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll just get my live screen up here.
Right on. Floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Alrighty, afternoon. And your drinking habits are the cause of global warming. And it's not your straws, it's not plastic bottles, it's not any kind of packaging. It's the byproducts from brewing them. Our craving for caffeine has us importing almost 300,000 metric tons of coffee in 2021. And the end destination for this, 99% of this is the landfill. Similarly, our love of cold beer creates equal problems. And between the two, it's almost 600,000 metric tons of organic waste that produces nothing but methane gas emissions, a gas 25 times more harmful than CO2. Our solution, simply to upcycle these byproducts into nutrient-dense superflowers loaded with fiber, protein, prebiotics, and minerals. Our superflowers are ideal for the dietary demands of today's consumers. Our sustainable coffee oil, loaded with EFAs, essential fatty acids, vitamin E, and caffeine, is an amazing addition to skincare and cosmetic ingredients, and also helps reduce male pattern baldness. The market has grown to 51 billion in 2021, and it continues to grow. And Canada is way behind the US and international markets when it comes to upcycling. And research suggests that 60% of Canadian consumers are interested in upcycled foods and ingredients. We've developed our own process, utilizing technology from multiple streams, which gives us the ability to process 3,200 kilograms of spent grain per day and 100 kilograms of coffee. We utilize clean technology and are patent pending on the process. Our next step technology would allow us to triple our output to 10,000 kilograms per day, utilizing solar power, reducing operating costs, and reducing our environmental footprint. We worked with marketing firm to create our brand and packaging. We use a combination of social media and print media to create awareness of our company. We have a collaborative approach and are highly focused on source local, produce local, and market local. We also work with feedstock suppliers as distributors, turning a one-time cost center into a revenue stream. Revenue generation comes from online sales, small storefront, and a growing distribution network that includes both small and large retailers. Our products are competitively priced or in the same range as alternative flours and nutritional mixes. Financial growth comes from market penetration, further product development, and the creation of multiple facilities across North America. We are the largest upcycler of spent grain in Canada and the only commercial producer of both coffee oil and coffee flour from spent coffee grounds in North America, demonstrating a huge opportunity for growth. We're seeking $100,000 for 5% to be used for technology development and to continue to grow our distribution changes. And with that, I encourage you all to eat up. It's good for you. It's good for the planet. Thank you.
Great job, Sean. Great presentation. How are you the only one doing this in North America? There's got to be someone else. Like, that's a bold statement.
Our research shows that there isn't. There are companies doing spent grain. When it comes to spent coffee commercially right now, there isn't anyone.
And I mean, I know a little bit, but what type of facility, what size of facility are you going to need in the near future to do this?
So we have a 4,000 square foot facility right now in Okotoks that we use to produce product every day. So we don't need a huge footprint.
Okay. And what products are this used for? Can it replace other gluten-free flours?
It can. The coffee flour is 100% gluten-free. The spent grain flour, while it tests gluten-free, cannot be marketed that way due to Canadian Food Inspection Agency rules.
Okay. I guess speaking of rules, is there any challenges with Health Canada?
No, we're a fully Alberta Health Services approved facility, and we're going through audits right now to take us to the next level and get a national license.
Awesome. And you'll deliver my order on Tuesday?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Great job, Sean. If there's any other questions in the chat, please answer them. And Sean, back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Jade. Very interesting. I see that we're moving towards sort of a greener part of our company roll up here. And next up is Abdallah. Are you on the line, Abdallah? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right on. Abdallah's with Carbon OxyTech, green tech solution for waste. I'll let you tell us more about that. If you're ready to go, feel free to share your screen and get the clock started.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. Can you use my presentation? All good?
Yeah, we can see your screen there.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Abdallah Manasra. I am the CEO and co-founder of Carbon OxyTech. I am here today to tell you how we convert carbon waste material into valuable and commercial product. Do you know that there is large amount of solid waste hydrocarbon is generating every year during oil and mining industry and other chemical process as well? What I mean by feedstock here is any carbon-based material such as coal lignite, petroleum coke, biochar, and biomass, and also it can be agricultural waste. due to the lack of efficient technology, the waste level is significantly increased to 50 million tons by 2040. Therefore, Carbon OxyTech has developed and patented a scalable technology to effectively convert this waste material into a high-value product, such as humic and fulvic acid. And those products have a great application in many areas, especially in the agriculture sector. Looking to the global market size, we can see that it's currently over $500 million. And North America shares around 30% of this market size. Our plan is to target the customer in the agriculture sector in the first 3 years, with a plan to sell our product with $5 million. And right now, we have secured 3 customers. The advantage of our process is not only the higher yield and the lower energy compared with the current technology, but also our technology produces higher quality and purity product compared with the market. In addition, it has less ash and sludge compared what's also in the market. Our revenue stream can be realized through selling our product directly to our customer, who are resellers and suppliers of humic acid. As well, we have an opportunity to lower technology with fertilizer and biochar manufacturers. Our team consists of diverse skill set from technology developer to business management. As well, we have developed a partnership with many organizations such as Innovate Calgary, Alberta Innovate, and World College. We have spent more than 6 years to develop this technology, and we are right at the stage of pre-commercialization. And we are also validating our product with our current customer. And the plan is to expand over the next years through customer outreach. To achieve these goals, we are looking for $500,000 to develop our process, release the product, and hiring more people. As well, we are seeking an industrial partner to integrate and validate our process and the product further. With Carbon OxyTech, we are always able to convert your carbon waste material into commercial product. Thank you, and I'm happy to receive your question and feedback.
Great job, Abdallah. I mean, that's excellent presentation. I have a quick question. Is there any TRL level that you're at, or does that apply to your technology?
Right now we are at TRL 6, and we are now planning to increase this to 7 and 8 by next year.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. Denise wants to know what your background is in this area.
Yeah, actually, I'm a chemical engineer from University of Calgary. Yeah, and all the team is coming from there. We are part of a green STEM program as well through Alberta Innovate.
We should have Zach asking you questions. Scientist, hey? I know there's another. Can this be applied to, I'm not even going to try that. Asphaltes, coke that are byproducts of oil upgrading processes.
Yes, actually, our technology has been validated to a wide range of feedstock. We start with petroleum coke and asphaltene, and now we move to different type of feedstock like agriculture and biomass as well, and coal as well.
And when you said, I know you mentioned that you have a 6-year plan there. Is that, are you kind of on par to get there?
Sorry, I tell you.
Did I go quiet? Good old technology. Maybe Zoom's a technology level 2 probably right now. So what's your next steps with the, are you going to need more than $500,000 in the next, are you going to be planning another raise?
The plan is to raise fund in order to move to the increase the readiness of our technology and to build our facilities to support our customer. Right now, we have 3 customers, and they need to have like a product being supported to them by raising more fund and building facilities next year.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you. If there's any other questions in the chat, just please jump in there. And John, back to you.
Thanks, Jade. Thanks, Abdallah. Great presentations. I'm just about done. I have one more presenter to present. But before I do, I just want to share my pride of being part of this and seeing all these Calgarian startups. We have such a great city with so many great things happening and great, smart people here. Just very, very proud of the city and really appreciate all of you putting yourselves out there and wish you all a lot of luck. Now, they say that managing a startup is like herding cattle. This is my final point, I promise. And our next company's business is just that. Mark from Flokk, are you ready to take the floor, my man?
I am.
All right. As soon as your screen is up, you are good to go. We'll start the clock.
I have to apologize. I'm going to stop my video. I'm on rural internet here, so we have problems if we try to do that.
No problem. Your screen's up. You can get rolling now.
Thank you. My name is Mark Olson, founder and president of Flokk Systems. Our story begins 3 years ago with a neighbor's frustration. They wanted to begin the process of digitizing their cow-calf herd, but like most producers, they found the tools available did not meet their needs. Livestock production has yet to realize the revolution in profitability and quality that digitization enabled for grains and oilseeds. Flokk enables digitization of livestock production and will be first to market and the industry standard platform for billions of dollars in new agricultural services. Today, 75% of cow-calf producers collect herd events with pen and paper at the animal's side, then redundantly transcribe them to herd records, partners, and regulators. The digital herd management products currently available are accessible only in the office or use a consumer-grade smartphone and unintegrated RFID tag reader at the animal's side, resulting in a combination that is fragile, expensive, fair weather use only, and awkward to use. Over the next 24 months, Canadian cow-calf producers will be highly motivated to digitize their herds. The pail of oats that is leading them is millions of dollars in revenue enabled through sustainability and export certification. The prod that will chase them is compliance with forthcoming federal regulation. Flokk is the next generation of herd management system, replacing conventional browser-based, office-bound systems with a solution purpose-built for everyday, standalone, and all-weather use at the animal's side. At the operator's convenience, integration with our cloud services completes submissions to external partners and regulators without additional effort. Flokk offers a unique and unbeatable combination of usability, functionality, and affordability that ensures Flokk will rapidly displace current practices and become the industry standard in the domain. The core of our revenue strategy is recurring revenue from service subscriptions directly tied to ongoing customer data submission requirements. Our superior user experience will ensure Flokk is the provider of choice for these services. Flokk is uniquely positioned in that we can offer the position for outright purchase, which is the preference of many cow-calf producers. Our capacity to secure significant market coverage enables many opportunities for revenue growth. Our MVP is in place and field validation is now underway. We are keen to work with partners who will support mobilization of our marketing plans and development of new products that will drive rapid revenue growth. Thank you for your time and attention, and I look forward to your questions.
Great job, Mark. And the credibility is there, because if you would have said you were in a city, I would be like, how are you going to be managing a herd from Calgary? So I like that. So I get it. There are quite a few questions coming in here, so I'm just going to go right into them. And what's the competitive landscape? And others must be working on the livestock digitization.
It's an interesting situation. We always look at this as our primary competitor. It's a 25-cent cardboard book, and UFA will give you the book for free. So we really look at displacing that. Our key competitor is potential competitor is Herd Tracks, which interestingly has just been bought by TELUS. So it tells us there's a market there. We think our market is the 96% of the producers, small hip producers that are the small producers. That's our key market, and we think we have great advantages over the established systems in that space.
Okay, and there's two in here. You can go answer one of them, but I'm going to kind of combine them. Is it possible that you integrate with other technologies like health sensors and or just out of the box systems that are out there?
Our strategy at the moment is to be the solution of choice for the producer to use every day at the animal side, and integration is a key part of that strategy. So absolutely, we are actively engaged. We were actively talking with everyone and looking for integration opportunities.
Okay. Does this help certify for export?
We haven't pursued that in detail, but absolutely, it all. If you look at any dimension of going forward in livestock, it all needs more data. It has to be auditable and it has to be easy to collect, and that's the space we're working in.
And I actually saw on your slide there that you have Trustpix logo on there. Are you using some of this data on the blockchain, or how are you going to be storing it?
We've had some very early discussions with Trustpix. We're kind of aware of each other and so on. What's kind of sets us apart from other ones in a standalone device, we have a full function microprocessor in there. So we can host whatever software is necessary to initiate the trust chain.
Excellent. Awesome. Great presentation. And I guess, John, back to you.
Thank you.
Well, that I believe wraps up my portion of this great little event. And I have to say, absolutely great job to our first set of presenters. You are going to be put on hold from puns, theoretically, because I'm going to retire from the screen. But I just wanted to wish you all luck as you go, and I'm sure we'll see many of you again. Back to you, Jade, to introduce our next co-host. Thanks again. Have a great night, everyone, and hopefully see some of you at Craft.
Actually, thank you very much, John, and we appreciate CBRE support, and not only from you spending time here, the money, and being an investor. So thank you for everything that you do in our ecosystem. It's awesome. I guess so. You know what? We're going to have a little trivia here, a couple little shake-ups to see if anybody wants to win a free drink tonight. At Neil will be handing them out, I think, or Trevor or Dave, whoever's down there. I'll be handing out drinks like they're going out of style. So why don't we have our first question is, which company recycles beer waste? Put her in the chat. First couple. Maybe we'll get up there and we'll see if anybody remembers this. Well, I guess, but they're not in here. Yes, there we go, Simon. All right, Simon's got a drink coming tonight. Anybody else remember it? GroundUp, Jocelyn. All right, perfect. You can just come see the boys down there, and we'll be able to hand you a drink. And the last, just a quick question tonight, if anybody was paying attention at the beginning, who's driving tonight, Neil or Jade? Oh, look at that. Hey, there were some people listening. Kyle, maybe we'll just Uber together and I'll have a few. No, just kidding. All right, on to our next presenter. And like she said, I don't know if she's going to have the puns in queue like John did, but Tara, why don't you give yourself a little introduction? Tara Benson.
Thanks, Jade. And yeah, no, unfortunately, I'm not as good with the puns, but hopefully I'll be just as interesting. So hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here and to see such a lively group of presenters, and great presentation so far, so awesome. And before I get started though, I personally would like to give a huge shout out to Zach and Tim and the rest of the Startup TNT team for putting together such an amazing investment summit once again, and always great to get the community together and to support entrepreneurs at the same time. So as Jade mentioned, my name is Tara Benson, and I'm a Senior Account Manager at the Business Development Bank of Canada. And I focus solely on helping tech entrepreneurs grow and scale their businesses by providing them with capital, resources, and advice. And so as most of you know, BDC is a major supporter of the tech ecosystem in Canada. As we all know that all of you today on this call, all the entrepreneurs, are vital to the success of our economy. And I'd be extremely happy to chat with each and every one of you offline to share some of the things that we're doing and seeing in the market. And so please feel free to reach out. I would love to hear from all of you. And one of the things worth noting that we recently released is a free financing tech toolkit for tech businesses, and that includes pitch decks, templates, cash flow forecasts specifically for tech companies, SaaS metric guides, and much more. So what I'll do is I'll share that link in the comments for those of you who are interested. And so with that, why don't we jump right back into the fun and seeing and hearing from our next group of presenters. So up next, we have David from YYC, and David has developed a really interesting technology that provides one of the highest quality video surveillance systems with real-time monitoring. So David, if you are ready to go, please share your screen and take it away.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
And can everyone see the slides?
Yes, we can
awesome.
See your slides.
Thanks so much. I was hoping for a pun, but thank you for the introduction, Tara.
I know.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here. My name is David. We're WiDR. We're a deep tech company right out here in Calgary. Today, I wanted to briefly talk about vision. Vision is a key sense that we honestly take for granted in terms of its capabilities. And as the world grows and adopts more automation, and we try to replicate these capabilities on our machines, these challenges become quite stark. Take a look at these images. See just how much data we're losing. A human eye would have no problem differentiating between darker and lighter segments of a specific scene, but image sensors truly struggle with it. In technical terms, their dynamic range is quite low. Current technology just tries to improve on this, and it does it in many different ways, and there's improvement, as you can see, but it is far from perfect. It also utilizes very high resources requiring multiple pieces of hardware. It's also why your phone gets hot when you try to take an HDR video. The costs associated in integrating this technology are also quite prohibitive for many stakeholders. Our solution targets these 3 pain points specifically. Our image sensor redefines the image processing capture process. It is more efficient, requiring less hardware, less resources to operate. The output provides a clearer picture with a much higher dynamic range than market averages. And it does all of this at a fraction of the cost. As you can imagine, the application for this type of technology is huge in industries like you see here. All of these are slated to grow aggressively, as you can see, by 2027. And this impacts our market quite well. These are our current market opportunity numbers, but just to give you an example, our TAM is slated to grow to over 34 billion by 2025. So the market trends are quite positive for us. Such lucrative markets obviously attract some incredible players. For many, this is off-putting. For us, it's actually quite endearing because we are able to create some incredible achievements with very limited resources. And we're truly on a path of designing and developing a globally cutting-edge image sensor that will be able to compete with the big guys. Our current business model through client discussion is going to have to be a mixture of licensed direct sales. Some clients would like just the IP, others want a complete solution. We're currently focusing on the welding market as a niche, but we're continuing our discovery process to see what opportunities there are in security and manufacturing. Today, we have an activated MVP, which is a huge milestone in this type of industry. We've raised over $355,000 in grants. We've, over the last few months, we've been talking to several customers, potential customers across multiple industries, and we're still building on those relationships as they've shown quite a bit of interest in our technology and its potential. We've also lined up some validation in industry for specifically welding. Our future plans is to complete the improvements to our technology, secure a seed round by June 2022, and to secure a bunch of LOIs to make that seed round as smooth as possible. Our current projections show that we'll become profitable by 2024 and scale from there. But these models are still being developed further and further, and we will be in touch with several VCs to refine them. The team that makes it possible is very talented, deep expertise with a proven track record of creating new IP. We're all very excited, committed to this project, and we love learning and connecting with a lot of the industry players. Our current ask is to connect with industry stakeholders. Alberta is a little lean on the semiconductor industry, so every connections that we get is very much treasured. We look for mentors and advisors to give us some guidance, and we're looking for a $2 million investment over the next year or so to facilitate growing our team, beginning manufacturing, and developing our technology further. Thank you so much.
Great job, David. You went a little long on the presentation, so we only maybe have time for one question here, and then you can answer the others in the chat. From Denise, she says, China uses the ID tech in the street. Is it a similar tech, or what's the difference?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
It says China use ID tech in the street. Is this a similar tech, or what's the difference?
I'm not actually familiar with that tech, but I believe it is different than the China tech.
Oh, okay. And then I guess one more question, because it's one I had, and then Noel had it too, but why focus on the welding industry first?
That's a great question. There's actually a couple of factors. This technology came from the university, and we actually have an early adopter that pushed for this type of research and development. So to us, the go-to-market strategy is a bit simpler, and it also provides us with incredible value in terms of validation. As you can imagine, welding industry has really bright lights. So if our sensor works for that industry, it's virtually applicable to all others.
Perfect. Excellent. There's some questions in the chat. Please go and
Sure.
answer them. And Tara, back to you.
Awesome, thank you, and great presentation. So our next presenter also provides an imaging system, but in this case, it's to detect breast cancer. So Jeremy from WaveView Imaging, the stage is all yours whenever you're ready.
Yeah, thank you. Can you see my slide?
We can.
Perfect.
Take it away.
So I'm very excited to tell you more about our pain-free and timely approach to breast imaging. I am Jeremy Bourki, engineer and CEO of WaveView Imaging. Each year, over 27,000 Canadian women are diagnosed with breast cancer. We all know someone who has been impacted by this disease. For me, it is my cousin. She felt a mass in her breast one day, but it was too late. She was too young to qualify for screening programs that could have saved her life and allowed two children to have their mom. And even if we have screening program for women over 50, in North America, 35% of eligible women don't have regular mammograms. Why? Many find them painful or worry about X-ray exposure. Imagine a new approach to breast imaging. What if monitoring breast health was as easy as monitoring blood pressure? We are dedicated to developing just that. Our device uses microwaves. It is completely safe, so images can be taken as often as needed, enabling young women to be scanned. It is simple to operate, comfortable, and takes only a few minutes, while results are provided immediately. Our goal is to make our device available to all levels of care, enabling women to be scanned at point of care, as there is a very strong demand for this. However, Cancer Center will be our point of entry into the market. Currently, we have our device at the Tom Baker Cancer Center in Calgary, where we are monitoring cancer treatment, which is an unmet clinical need. We plan to sell or lease the WaveView device with additional revenue streams to service agreement, software upgrades, and training. We will also offer a subscription-based imaging analysis platform, providing revenue with every scan. Established imaging technologies all have limitations. With our portable scanner, scans are collected in minutes during scheduled appointments. No special infrastructure required or extensive training, unlike ultrasound, making it very accessible to clinics. Since incorporation last year, our team has developed a much improved device that is currently in preclinical test before replacing our current device at the Cancer Center in January. Next summer, we plan to start the regulatory process and make our device ready for clinical trials, aiming for FDA clearance just before our first sale in 2026. I am very fortunate to have a great team of individuals who are pulling their sleeves to make our device a reality for women. However, to complete our team, we are in search of an experienced executive in the medical imaging device industry. Today, we are looking for an investment of $500,000 to bring us to the next milestone, or a connection with someone in the medical device industry. Thank you.
Great presentation, Jeremy. And I guess a thank you for creating something that will keep loved ones in our lives longer. I mean, that's fantastic. Is this, I know in that one check mark slide, it didn't have, is it as accurate or more accurate than out of the imaging options out there right now?
It is different, really. So we are sensing something different than any other technology, except maybe MRI. We're more sensing water content and behavior of water.
And what's your TRL level right now?
TRL 7 at this time.
Oh, so you're quite along the ways. Are there any regulations that you have to go through? Any FDA?
Oh yeah. We're gonna be a class 2 device, so we're gonna have to go to that path, and we are likely going to go to a de novo process.
And does that process delay, or how long will that take you to commercialization?
So we are planning our first sale in 2026.
2026.
Accounting for the process, yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And that runs out about our time. So thank you for the great presentation, Jeremy. There are a few more questions that are in there. So please get in there and answer them. And great job. And I know the one ask, if somebody knows of anybody that can help them in on that side, definitely reach out to Jeremy. Thank you. Tara?
Thank you.
Thanks, Jade. Thanks, Jeremy. And sorry to hear about your cousin. That's a sad story, but I'm glad you're creating something that will help in that space. So sticking to our health theme, our health tech theme, up next we have Cheyenne from OD1N Health, which has created a urine analysis device used to provide fast and comprehensive overview of one's health from the comfort of their own home. So Cheyenne, please go ahead if you are ready.
Hey guys, here's my co-founder Sam's sharing screen for me. So can you guys let me know if everybody can see?
Yeah, we can see it and see your screen.
Okay. So, hey guys, welcome to OD1N Health. We provide personalized health monitoring at the comfort of your own home. So currently, there's no easily accessible way of efficiently tracking your health at home. With that being said, have you ever had a day where you're feeling tired, but you just can't pinpoint the reason why? I know I have. And I tried products like Fitbit that count your steps and track your sleep cycle, but they couldn't give me meaningful enough information to actually better my health. So then I went to the doctor and they told me I can try blood pricking every day. But not only was this method invasive, it also took too much time out of my day. And I realized this isn't a viable option going forward. Allow me to elaborate. Today, 45% of North Americans have tried or are currently using a fitness tracker or mobile health application. Well, based on our internal survey with more than 1,600 responses, 66% of people feel that existing health products are either too time-consuming or not tailored to their needs. Well, at OD1N, we have found a simple way to address both of these gaps in the market. So our solution is a non-invasive automated urinalysis device that tracks 10 health parameters, providing convenience, efficiency, and accuracy. But it doesn't stop there. The results we provide allow you to track your health-related trends, ultimately keeping you accountable and helping you evade future health implications, all at the comfort of your own home. So the way our device works is we use a cartridge of FDA-approved urine strips that measure parameters like energy, chances of infection, liver health, and many more. The device itself is easily attached next to your toilet like a bidet with a retractable funnel placed within the toilet. So every morning when you're doing your business like you always do, you just have to allow the funnel to be filled up in the process. After this, with just one touch of a button on our app, you'll receive your results on your smartphone within 2 minutes. But we didn't want to just give people raw data. So on our app, we also give nutritional and lifestyle recommendations so you can actually take concrete steps to improve your health. So as you already know, it comes as no surprise when I say that COVID-19 has immensely impacted how seriously people view their health. In fact, Deloitte predicts that by 2030, 75% of the North American population will be using or have tried technology for health and fitness purposes. This is shown in the $122 billion mobile healthcare market, where we can access the $10 billion sector related to personalized nutrition and lifestyle. So what are we doing differently? Well, our biggest competitors in our space all use handheld products. So our automation is our biggest advantage, as it makes the process faster, completely hands-free, and easily implementable into the user's daily routine. This also allows us to have a more precise process, ultimately giving the user more accurate information. Not to mention that we provide the best value in the game. Speaking of, we'll be selling our hardware direct to consumer along with 2 subscription plans with different perks, so our customers can receive a new cartridge of urine strips at the start of each month. Our margins for the device and the subscription are 40% and 45% respectively. In terms of the team, other than just being 3 really good looking guys, our team consists of Ayush, the technical director, who's a biomedical and software engineering student, Sam, our business director, a chemical engineering student, and myself, the scientific director studying biology. Okay, so just in the past year, we've gone from an idea to a functioning beta product that we can begin testing with, and a primitive version of the app that interacts remotely with the hardware. So a pre-seed round of $250,000 will fund our next 4 main milestones of hiring a third party to finish the app, making our prototype efficient and mass manufacturable, conducting consumer testing, and taking care of legalities such as filing a patent. Now, I'm sure you've heard enough urine talk to last you the day, so thank you, and we hope you share our vision, inspiring a healthier future for everyone.
Great job. Great job. But I was gonna say, if you need a sales rep down the road, to add to your good looking team, I'm available. Just throw it out there.
Let you know.
Exactly. So what parameter, Edon has a question here and he says, what parameters are you monitoring?
Yes, that's a great question. So we monitor 10 biological parameters, which translate to 8 easy to understand health metrics. So those are energy, liver health, kidney health, chances of UTI infections, hydration, pH, proteins, and sugar levels.
And someone wants you to expand on the existing IP in this space. Is there any?
Yeah, so we've conducted our own research on the Canadian database, and there's nothing in the Canadian database for the patents that shows that there's been something like this done before, neither in the American one. So based in terms of IP in North America, nothing exists at the moment.
Okay, and I had this, Edon and I had the same question. What does measuring energy mean?
Yes, so again, the biological parameters that we have, for example, ketones and sugar levels, can be correlated to the amount of energy that you feel throughout the day. And so not to get too much of the science of it, but essentially we have algorithms that take in these parameters, and based on a color change seen on the urine strip, we can make a prediction on based on how much your energy is at that time of analysis.
Perfect. So you can tell. Nice. And is this covered by insurance? Would plans cover this type of
the device that we're making?
Yeah.
So we haven't looked into the insurances yet, so I don't want to give like an incorrect answer to your question.
Fair enough.
That's a great one that maybe my co-founders can answer in the chat.
Perfect. Yeah, maybe slap her in there. And great presentation. And Tara, back to you.
Thank you. That was a really interesting one. I like that. So our next presenter aims to change the way medical training has been conducted for years. So their goal is essentially to bring virtual reality into the ER. So Ganesh, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. From Vital XR, please go ahead.
You got it. And if anyone can let me know that you can hear and see the screen fine, as usual.
Yes, we can see it and hear you great.
Awesome. All right. So just want to start off by quickly asking everyone just take a consideration for what 4 minutes means to you. Our pitches are supposed to be about 3 minutes, so 4 is pretty close. It's not a lot of time, as we found out. But it might also kind of be crazy to think that 4 minutes is actually the average amount of time that medical students get per year to train intubation, which is actually kind of a really important life-saving procedure. They apply quite frequently, especially right now. So when we're looking at the problem that we encountered, we're seeing that medical students just have really limited training opportunities when it comes to kind of practice hands-on skills. We use intubation as our example, but there's a lot more that kind of exists that they just don't have the chance to properly train. When it comes to current training tools, equipment, processes, all of these are quite old, and it's getting more and more expensive daily to kind of source things like cadavers. And those plastic mannequins you probably use when you've done CPR, they're actually really terrible to train on. With this kind of lack of confidence from getting limited training, and you're noticing that there's an erosion of your hands-on skill over time, you're actually going to cause a higher risk of causing kind of permanent damage when you're doing these procedures. With the example of intubation, you could chip teeth, you can actually damage the soft tissue in your vocal cords, and a lot of this damage is not reversible. So for Vital XR, what we then decided to do is we want to challenge that status quo, and we want to kind of introduce a hybrid model. We want to introduce a 3D printed mannequin with a high fidelity kind of mixed reality environment. So mixed reality being virtual and augmented reality. We want to provide then a current learning experience that is quite novel, unparalleled, and doesn't exist in that same capacity yet. The main focus of why we want to kind of introduce this self-guided hybrid model is that with current training ways, a lot of students have to do it with guidance from either instructors or scientists, professors. But with our model, the idea is that they can go in and practice whenever they want, for however long they want, and they can get that confidence instilled in themselves. When we're talking about the market trends that really feed back to why we want to get to this, into this industry, in 2019, 2020, we saw almost 2,900 students that were in medical school across Canada. The number has been increasing year after year, and we're noticing the same trend in the US, where they actually have about 10 times the number of medical schools, and as a result, way more students. The number of cadavers that are being available for sourcing are getting lower, so the price for cadavers has gone up. The cost to operate a cadaver lab with all the different factors in place is exceedingly expensive as we go along. And from kind of an addressable market area, we're seeing that virtual reality and augmented reality in healthcare itself is catching up to things like engineering and gaming as that top categories. But we're seeing this to continue increasing to become a very high category over the next few years. From a team perspective, we have a pretty holistic team. We have kind of expertise in all the different areas to feed the different avenues that would prop up Vital XR, but we really don't have enough space to call out a lot of our kind of mentors, our supporters that have been there to give us the guidance and mentorship to getting us where we are, where we want to continue going with it. With regard to the milestones that we've kind of achieved thus far, we've actually completely printed our first adult mannequin, and we're working on the design and reiteration of a child-sized mannequin right now. We've completed the proof of concept for magnetic tracking that'll be used to track the actual guidance of our proprietary tool into the 3D mannequin. And we are getting ready to do MVP testing with our expert focus groups. We're looking to source about 200,000 our angel round, because what we want to do is that while we source the first kind of 3D print mannequin, we actually want to bring our printing in-house so we can own that process and then potentially just start mass producing more mannequins as a replacement for the plastic airway dummies that exist. We want to prep for clinical trials with our end users being the students that are in schools right now, in medical schools that are training for this. We want to get them trying it, getting it hands-on. And finally, we want to get more support staff to kind of help with our software development, because right now we've been focused on getting the virtual reality environment ready. We've been focused on getting the mannequin ready and propping everything else up, but we definitely realize that we still have the opportunity to continue to refine the final bits and do a bit of that patchwork and maintenance that would come in with the software component itself. So with that, I'll just kind of end it there and just call out that, you know, our main mission and goal is that we really want to bring XR, as we call mixed reality, into the ER. And I'll pause for questions there.
Oh, great presentation, Ganesh. Unfortunately, you ran 4 minutes, over 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So I have time for one question. Are there any regulatory hurdles with Health Canada for training and technology like this?
Not that we've seen right now, but with that's where we're doing our kind of expert focus groups and clinical trials. There would not be any impact that would need healthcare regulation, but it's definitely something on the back of our minds.
Okay, perfect. Again, thanks for the presentation. And there are probably 4 other questions I wish we could have got to, but you can run and answer them in the chat, and that would be great. Tara, back to you.
Thank you, and very interesting. I did not know the 4 minutes per year thing. That's an interesting fact. So anyhow, our next guest is changing the way the workplace safety is conducted and how that training is conducted. So with that, Rob, I'm going to hand it to you from Sotera 120. So please take it away.
Thanks. Everyone should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah.
Cool. So my name is Rob, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sotera 120. We're an educational technology software company focused on merging continuous learning and certification. Sotera means security. We secure businesses and their workers against mistakes that cost time, money, and even lives. To explain that, let me start with this. You're going to forget most of what I say in this presentation, and that's the whole point behind our company. It stems from the realization that we all forget almost 90% of what we learn in training sessions. This has serious implications in the workplace, where training, in one form or another, is an essential component of every single business everywhere. Workplace training is a huge waste. There's knowledge gaps, they cause mistakes, and these gaps are present despite the $250 billion spent on training globally each year. The problem isn't tech or money, though, it's courses. They don't work, and in the safety training world that we come from, that failure costs lives. Unlike traditional systems that simply address knowledge and don't do that very well, our approach also considers other variables, replacing ineffective course-based training with continuous learning and assessment so that we can improve all aspects of performance and even prevent mistakes. By rethinking training from first principles, we reduce training and compliance costs by up to 80%, eliminate errors, increase the information workers remember by 90%, and boost productivity by up to 40%. By maximizing retention, we help our clients manage their risk and improve worker capability continuously. Our app pushes 5 to 10 questions to users every day that in just 2 minutes measure and educate them on what they should know in their role. It's a bit like Duolingo for skills. Our self-service portal enables supervisors to use the data from those questions to guide their decision-making without the administrative burden of traditional systems. One differentiator versus our competitors with similar platforms is that we focus on risk management using the data we collect. No one else is doing that. We're an agile startup and have been in beta testing and stealth mode as we build, test, and refine not only our technology and content, but our team and operating model as well. Here's a cool little traction piece. Find us in the Google and App stores. We just launched last week. We're getting great feedback on our MVP, and we're expanding the scope of industry verticals we're targeting by developing test content and programs to suit them. Our go-to-market strategy will roll out in 5 phases with a focus on using proof of concept studies to both demonstrate the effectiveness of our system and get our foot in the door with mid-size innovative clients. This strategy will take us through our Series A funding round and published white papers. We're looking for investment to extend our runway through our launch plans to reach 2,000 users. We've already closed some of the funding this round. This money goes towards key hires, developing more standardized programs, marketing, and the infrastructure to support our go-to-market strategy. Thank you for your time and attention. We welcome any questions that you may have.
Great presentation, and darn you for getting rid of that thick book that nobody reads.
We sure hope so.
Yes, exactly. What happens if someone takes those 5 questions and gets them all wrong?
Great. We'll tell them what the right answer is and ask them some new questions tomorrow. They don't always get the same questions related to the same concepts. There's a whole content management system in the background to make sure that we're probing different concepts and topics from different perspectives.
Okay. So do you work with the companies and offer certifications, or is this just microburst learning?
Yes. So one of the key components here is that there's a certification management process in the background that will reform that whole aspect of the business. And I can give a whole big presentation about that as well. But the headline there is that typically certifications need to be redone every year or 3 years or whatever it is, depending on the course. We want those done every day.
Okay. And then I know on that one, you said none of your competitors, and you're the only one that focuses on risk management. What does that mean?
That means that we can use the data that we're collecting in the system to not only understand what people know right now, but what they're likely to do with that knowledge based on their confidence. There's a whole nother layer to the system where we're actually probing people's confidence in their answers in the system. If we can identify the folks that are confident in the wrong areas, we can not only prevent them from making those mistakes, but help our customers manage their workforce better in terms of how they assign projects, how they assign people to teams, and how they progress people through their career journey.
Oh, that's excellent. Great presentation, and congrats on launching your app. And I encourage everyone to go check it out. I know as soon as we're done here, I will go check it out. Great job, Rob. And Tara, back to you for your and I's last dance of the night.
Perfect. Thank you. And great presentation. So our final presenter from this group today is going to be Cody from Integrity Technology Systems. So they go by ITS. And so from what I understand, ITS automates the auditing process for the energy industry. So Cody, with that, please take it away.
All right, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good to go.
All
right. Hi, I'm Cody Austin. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Integrity Technology Solutions. And I'm here today to talk to you about the exciting world of audit and accounting. At ITS, we're revolutionizing the audit and accounting space by providing purpose-built solutions utilizing machine learning technology. Our solutions are already being used by industry giants, and we haven't even released our SaaS model yet. Our initial market is joint ventures, which are popular in the energy industry as a way to spread risk and expense. When we think of joint ventures, they look like this, where everyone pays and receives what they expect. But in reality, the payments are a mess. The root of the problem is caused by inaccurate billings that lead to disputes, expensive reviews, and more expensive audits. So we built a solution. Our core technology focuses on harnessing the power of data with our machine learning solution to validate invoices to the complex accounting agreements. The result for the non-operator is faster, cheaper, and better detection rate of incorrect billings, which means more revenue at lower costs. For the operator, when deployed before the joint venture billing, this means less errors, which means preventing revenue leakage, less disputes, and ultimately getting paid faster. Let me quickly walk you through one of the use cases for a non-operated module. This is what typical payment looks like for an audit. We gave one of the top auditors 1,000 documents and our system 1,000 documents. System did it in 15 minutes. The auditor got through 236 in an 8-hour day. And what's more important is our one-track system found more errors over that span because they could look at 1,000 documents faster. So what does this all mean? For 2021, we're projecting $100,000 in sales from our concierge model from clients ranging from industry giants to small caps. But what's really important is our customers and how they generate recoveries, potentially over 1 million and audit savings over $100,000, which to us means a full sales funnel for the imminent SaaS model transition and rapid scaling. Our immediate market is over $500 million, but the core technology can be adapted to other verticals like the contract compliance market. And we're also right now working with a carbon credit platform and Foresight Canada on how our technology can be applied to the carbon credit validation. Why us? We were auditors first. As a result, we have the data and the expertise to build the solutions and solve the problems that even blockchain and smart contracts can't. We're not in this alone. On top of our fantastic board of advisors, we have partners and programs and industry events we've worked with, including I'm very proud of making the top 5 at Adventures this year, as well as we're working with the Canadian Trade Commission and the Rice Alliance to sell in Houston. Our investment target is to raise 1 million in seed to finalize our imminent SaaS model transition, team expansion, and expanding into the carbon credit validation space. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
Great job, Cody. So your carbon capture, how, touch on that a little bit.
Carbon capture, it's kind of a new vertical we're looking at. The basis of our technology is really accounting and audit. You have an agreement and validating a transaction to that agreement. In the carbon capture space right now, there's a lot of talks about how these credits are going to be validated on how do you make them real. Everyone has a solution. There isn't too much about what actually standards they're going to use, as long as they're tier compliant in the Alberta system. So what we're looking at is a way to automate kind of the reviews to the agreements to make sure that we're kind of building this. This is in the works right now, and this is part of where we're going to be using the funding is expanding this. We're working with a carbon credit platform and Foresight Canada to kind of develop this. It's down the pipe. I didn't even really want to talk too much about it, but someone might have encouraged me to.
Well, as soon as you mentioned blockchain and carbon capture, it kind of tweaked my interest. So how much of this process is automated versus manual, and is the end goal to have everything automated completely?
The end goal is always to have everything automated, but the best part is you automate the low-hanging fruit first. Okay. So I could give you kind of a talk all day about kind of automation of joint venture contracts and how to do kind of anomaly detection for coding errors or looking for missed revenue opportunities. But right now, we point out all the errors, someone goes in, verifies them and writes them up. And kind of that's how they're seeing really good returns.
Oh, excellent. And you know what? Great presentation, Cody. There's going to be quite a few questions in the channel right now about the carbon catcher and blockchain. So if you didn't want to talk about it now, you're going to be answering some questions about it in the chat. So great job. And again, thank you everybody for allowing me to host. I enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you a little bit later on tonight. Tara, back to you for closing remarks in this section.
Yeah, thank you, Jade, and thank you to all our presenters from this group. I thought you guys all did an amazing job, and some really interesting business models, and I felt like I learned a lot. So thank you to all of you, and thank you for allowing me to co-host. And with that, Jade, I believe our next presenter or host is Neil. So I'll hand it over to Neil. Perfect.
Thanks, Tara.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm taking over for Jade. So Adrienne and I have the last block, so we need to make sure everybody's awake first. I have a quick question for the group. So as you know, we're having an after party after this. Who can name where it is? And I'll give drink tickets to the first 5 people that say the right answer. Oh, it looks like, got a lot. Nice work, everybody. At least everybody's been paying attention. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Adrienne Breakwell, who's a principal with our longtime friends at KRP. She's up next to host our next and last group of companies. I'll let you take it away, Adrienne.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Neil. So my name's Adrienne, and I work for KRP, which is an independent full accounting firm here in Edmonton. Please hold your booze. I understand you guys are all in Calgary, so I won't be at Craft, but I will be there in spirit. Again, we believe our work can make a meaningful impact on any size of business. And we're not just what you see on the Instagram or TikTok. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. So our first presenter is Meredith. She's with Rallie, which is a female-focused financial technology company making investing simple and social. So over to you, Meredith.
Hello, sorry, I had to unmute myself. So I'm Meredith Wozni, co-founder and CEO of Rallie, and we're making investing simple, social, and automated. So first, I have a story for you. So at 24, I met my partner, and within 1 year, I had moved into his apartment, sold my car, and merged all my finances with him. By 27, I was married and leaned on my partner for all my major financial decisions. And by 30, I started to feel very trapped and unhappy, and I left my marriage, and for the first time in 7 years, had full financial autonomy. So I realized how much time I had lost to build wealth, and I began taking investing courses. I spoke to over 150 women and learned that my situation is not unique at all. And when it comes to finance, women are a massively underserved market. So women lack support when it comes to building wealth. Financial products do not accommodate the unique barriers that women face, such as career gaps, caregiving burdens, or the pay gap. In fact, 73% of women report being unhappy with the financial industry. As well, there's still a massive gender bias in financial advertising. Women are portrayed as immature when it comes to money, and 90% of financial articles that target women focus on small ways to save money. Ultimately, women hold 71% of their assets in cash accounts, and the vast majority of women are not investing. So Rallie is an investing platform to make building wealth automated. We build smart, diversified portfolios that factor in important realities for women, such as the pay gap, career breaks, and longer lifespans. You open an account, answer a few questions about your financial situation, and you receive a tailored investment portfolio. After that, add funds and watch your money grow. We're also integrating a social networking option to create a safe and engaging space for women to talk about money and learn about finance. Beyond this, we'll provide access to financial advisors and more educational resources. Our revenue model is subscription, starting at $9 a month. Other early revenue streams are flat fee advisory services, such as retirement plans, and then also events and merchandise. By 2025, there will be over 2.5 million users of digital personal finance in Canada, with 43% of those being female. That makes our TAM for assets under management 15 billion and the business opportunity over 200 million in gross annual revenue. So each of the key competitors you see on the right have a primarily male user base. They don't target women directly on a regular basis, and none of them have a social networking option as part of their product offering. So we've interviewed over 150 women in our target market, and 70% say they want a community to talk to about finance. 83% are interested in investing. We plan to launch our website in November and are targeting 1,000 email signups by January. Over the next year, we plan to build our product, launch events, and build out our community in preparation for our product launch in Q4 of 2022. So we just started our pre-seed round, and we have an ask of 750,000. We've secured 250,000 from one angel, and we're raising on a convertible note at 6% interest on a 3-year term. So thank you so much for the opportunity to present tonight, and I hope you guys join the rally.
Thanks, Meredith. You came in at 2 minutes and 59 seconds. So you nailed that 3 minutes. So it's really cool seeing a compelling story and a cool solution coming out of that. We got lots of questions in the chat. The first one is, why do you feel like women aren't investing?
So women aren't investing because honestly, they haven't really been targeted a lot, and the cultural and societal norms and the narrative that we're telling that women see from a very young age puts them behind in terms of financial literacy and other things like that. So really, there's a statistic that women are talked to about finance 5 times less than men by the time they turn 18. So a lot of it is cultural, and a lot of it is the way that women are targeted, and the fact that they're essentially ignored a lot of the times in financial advertising and by financial institutions.
Great, thank you. And then there's 2 questions that sort of pair together. Denise is asking who builds the portfolios, and then Donna is asking, are the portfolios women-led?
So our plan is to have women-led portfolios. So that is what we're planning to do. So we're actively searching for hopefully a female chief investment officer, and who is building the portfolios. So we plan to build the portfolios using a Monte Carlo simulation, which essentially will take into account the unique challenges that women face, such as career gaps and pay gap and those types of things. But we're still doing research on how we're going to build those exactly, but we'll either be partnering with somebody or we'll be building them ourselves.
Awesome. Thanks, Meredith. We got time for one quick question. And is this specific to Canada or the USA or both?
It's specific to Canada. Like the regulatory to going across borders is a little bit difficult right now. So right now we're planning to start in Canada. There is a case study though. There's a company in the States called Elvest, and they've had a lot of success having a female-focused online investment manager. So they launched in 2016, and this year they hit 1 billion in assets under management, and they're a potential exit strategy for us.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Meredith. I'll kick it back to you, Adrienne.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, that was wonderful, Meredith. So our next presenter is Danica, and she's with Normative, which is a health tracking app, which incorporates female-specific metrics. And I really enjoyed your website. One of my favorite colors is purple, and there was purple everywhere. So it really caught my attention. So I'm really excited to hear about yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I think one thing I realized as I was going through this pitch deck, because it's been a little while since I've had the opportunity to do this, was that at 7 months pregnant, I would like to ask for people to not make fun of how often I gasp. That's my ask for everybody, because I have no oxygen in my system. All right. Let's go here. Okay, can everyone see what I see?
Yeah, looks great.
I'll start my timer, and the rule is in place. No one's allowed to laugh at all my gasping. So hi, everyone. My name is Danica. I am the co-founder and CEO of Normative. Normative is a female-focused health platform disrupting the gender data gap through technical innovation. And so what is the gender data gap and why should we care? Right now, we use a one-size-fits-all approach to how we collect, collate, and interpret information all across sex and gender. This is really problematic because it forces the outcomes of female and male persons to be the same across sex and gender, which leads to inequalities across the health spectrum. So from brains to hearts to bones, we see that female persons and their unique physiology have different health outcomes to their male counterparts. And you would say, okay, that's fine. We already have people tracking their health. That's fabulous. The problem is that every person who uses technology to track their health right now is tracked as a percentage of a 70 kilogram, 18 to 23-year-old white male. And so anything that does not exist in that template body cannot exist. So as an example right now, 7 months pregnant, my Apple Watch when I go for a run tells me I am fat and slow, not killing it going for a run at 7 months pregnant. And so how do we overcome this? Normative uses self-reported wellness indicators and biometrics combined with our machine learning and AI to actually provide insights into how hormones drive health performance without the requirement of wet lab work, which is the current major barrier that's listed in every major study and citation. And so female persons making up 52% of the population, obviously the opportunity for impact here is massive. The two that we're focusing on to start here is digital health and med tech. And so the people who provide services from those spaces to 18 to 35-year-old cis women who are active, eumenarcheic, which means has a menstrual cycle, and have female-specific health concerns, opens up a lot of doors for us with our app. So that's what you were speaking to earlier. So we just launched our alpha version of the software in September, which is really exciting. We had our beta launch in March. And from there, what we've done between those 6 months is kind of got ourselves to a point where we have a fully functioning our in-market app that allows us to clinically validate the machine learning that we're doing across different phases. With this clinically validated information, we're able to help businesses more easily include female persons and reduce costs around the inclusions, so we won't have those wet lab requirements. Our team is composed of scientists and innovators who've brought products to market to field in this space before. Our advisors are awesome, and like I said, our ecosystem is a huge part of our strategy for getting into market. And we see our landscape as this intersection of these 4 different quadrants, with Normative really being the space that allows a person to be their own self throughout their entire life cycle. And the really big differentiating factor here is that you don't need external medical validation, and we're actually able to do predictive analytics that correlate to more than just can you get pregnant right now. Our focus over the next year is on clinical validation and product market fit. And so for that, we are raising $750K in pre-seed, and I only gasped a few times. Thank you so much for your time. I will stop my timer now.
Great job, Danica. And at 3 minutes and 10 seconds, you're right on time too. Yeah, so Edan's got a question in there. So what would prevent Apple, Garmin, et cetera, so your competitors from just resetting their platforms to be sensitive to gender, age, and other status variables such as pregnancy?
That's a really good question. So I think first would be that it's not a simple matter of resetting to include those populations. You need to be able to clinically validate them. So they have several years at least behind us in terms of clinical validation. So each benchmark that a female person goes through needs external clinical validation. So things such as phase identification, adaptive symptomology, et cetera. So the burden, it's not impossible. Obviously, Apple has a massive budget, but there would have to be the will and the desire to do it internally and develop that expertise and the relationships with that expertise to get themselves to market in a timely fashion. And I'm happy to say that we have most of those partnerships and we have a head start.
That's great. And that leads me into a follow-up question. So can you tell us a bit about the clinical trials that you're planning on undergoing here in the near future?
Yeah, so we have 2 currently funded and 2 potentially funded. So we have the On the Podium partnership that we have, which is a 4-year clinical trial specifically looking at anovulatory events in female persons. This is really important because anovulation is one of the leading reasons why female data is binned. So you can look at, as an example, a recent study from Clue, where they threw out 80% of the data because the female cycle wasn't perfect, and people who are active are less likely to have perfect cycles. And the other one that we have that is a Canada-based clinical trial as well is our Norma, so the novel ovulation study that we're doing. And that one is specifically looking at phase identification. So can we accurately predict what phase a person is in and their hormones through time without requiring wet lab intervention? And so that is a 2-year study. And that one will have initial results from this time next year, which is very exciting. The other 2 that we have are in the US and are still going through some proofing and funding, but are focused on kind of the difference between menarche and puberty and how that impacts long-term health outcomes. And the other one is more around the menopausal population.
Awesome. Well, there's a couple more questions for you in the chat if you want to go through them, and I'll kick it back to you, Adrienne.
Great, thank you. That was wonderful, Danica, and yeah, you did great. So no worries there. So our next presenter is someone who's changing the way that we move our items. I just recently went through a move last year and it was very painful. So super excited to hear from Simon and Move Easy.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
You bet.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, my name is Simon Bullard and I am the founder here at Move Easy. We are an on-demand moving and delivery company. And before I get started about how our service works, I'm gonna hit you with a few stats. Right now, as we speak in Alberta, there are 6,755 furniture items for sale on Kijiji, 21,058 construction companies, and 344 furniture retail stores. That's just in Alberta alone. Why have I provided these numbers specifically? They can help paint a small picture of the many different ways a customer or business might need an on-demand last mile heavy logistics service like Move Easy. Young people in urban areas are either choosing not to own a vehicle or owning a small vehicle to commute around the city. Their options for moving big and bulky items like a couch or a mattress are 1, to go rent a vehicle. But when it comes to renting a vehicle, you have to go down to the rental counter, you have to get the vehicle, you have to drive it home yourself, and then you have to pack it up yourself. The second option is to rely on a friend with a truck, but that involves annoying your friends and coordinating busy schedules. The third option is to call a moving company, but moving companies are expensive, and I can tell you that for free. When people think of Uber, they think of getting a ride somewhere. When they think of skip the dishes, they think of getting food delivered. When they think of moving their stuff, we want them to think of Move Easy. We are a complementary service to these services that have become ubiquitous with city life. I spent 8.5 years in the tech logistics space in Beijing, China. There are several Asian unicorns in this space already, but it has remained relatively untapped in North America. To quickly describe how our service works, we have kept the ordering process simple by design. First, you input the pickup and drop-off locations. Second, you choose the vehicle that will fit the items you need delivered. And third, you submit your order. Once your order is submitted, it will be paired to one of our drivers, and then he or she will be on their way to get the job done. To quickly give some information about where we're at in our process, we launched our MVP in January of this year. That was a web application. Over the past 5 months, we've been able to achieve an average MRR of $10,000. We've completed over 500 successful deliveries. We're working with companies in construction, interior design, real estate, retail, and so on. I'm also very excited to announce that next week we will begin development on our mobile app. We are seeking $200,000 to help with our technical and operational costs, making some key hires, and other sales and marketing expenses. Thanks very much for listening.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Simon. That's really, really interesting. We got a couple of questions in the chat about your market. So Amos is asking, is moovez integrated with Kijiji and other apps or other web-based platforms like that? And can it be?
This is a question that we've gone back and forth on. It's not, and yes, it could be if Kijiji would be interested in that, but we've kind of gone back and forth on that debate, whether we want to take that approach or sort of approach it from the other angle of going after the customers instead of going after Kijiji, because our fear is that potentially Kijiji could decide they want to build this themselves. So we want more traction. We want a bigger head start before we potentially go down that road and begin that discussion.
Great, thanks, Simon. And we're seeing a few questions in the chat about the competitive landscape. I think somebody's mentioned, is this different from UShip, and what's that look like for you guys?
So currently we're in moving and delivery. I would say our biggest competitor that we've seen on the market right now launched in Ottawa. They're called Go for Deliveries. They're the one that I've seen that has made the most traction in Canada.
Perfect. And then I had one quick question. So how do you factor in the physical workload of, like, if you have one guy with a pickup and you need to pick up a piano, how do you factor in not just the logistics piece, but the actual physical workload of moving items?
So far we've stayed away from pianos. That's one thing that we're like a hard no on. But essentially the pricing is based on the size of the vehicle, and the labor cost is higher for the bigger vehicle. Obviously, you can get more in a cargo van. So we price that at a higher price point than, say, like a minivan or a pickup truck. So it's built into the rate, whether or not the order requires labor or not. With labor, based on the vehicle size, the price goes up.
Great. Thanks, Simon. That's it for time. So I'll kick it back to you, Adrienne.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Simon. So our next is ArcticShelf, and it was actually really cool. When I looked this up, it looked like a refrigerated locker system that you could have here at work with your own little cooler. You could put, your lunches and your beers or your sodas, in there. So Dawson, please take it away.
Awesome. Hey, thanks everyone. 1 second. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Dawson Ornish. I'm the founder and CEO of ArcticShelf. Our mission is to revolutionize eating in the workplace. I'm sure you've all seen this. This is the typical office fridge at every office in North America. In the pre-COVID world, it was gross and unsanitary, but in the post-COVID world, it's downright unsafe. What we've created is a compartmentalized fridge to give each individual user their own safe and secure place to store food at work. It's open via our mobile app, so one tap and you're able to access stored food, condiments, salad dressings, whatever it is at work. But what's most interesting about the product is that by owning the fridge, which is something you touch every day, and the digital interface in front of it, we have this large daily active user base of customers that touch our app every time they're hungry at work. So what we've done is we've introduced a distribution channel or a food delivery platform to deliver food into the fridges. That's shelf stock. So ShelfStock is the software platform to connect our user base to local kitchens. Just a quick summary of how it works. The fridge is installed in the workplace as a normal fridge. Then staff then use our mobile app to access their stored meals, food, condiments, and salad dressings at work. Using that same mobile app, they're able to order pre-made fresh meals that are delivered right into their personal cubby. The business model is a hardware plus SaaS, so we sell the fridges outright, which is how typically fridges are bought right now. And then on top of that, the businesses have the option to subscribe to our food delivery platform for $150 a month. We've launched the business, we've sold out of all our Series 1 inventory, and we have 27 fridges in market. We have $320,000 in pre-orders for our Series 2 fridge, and we've launched at the Colliers headquarters, who wants to standardize this as the new office fridge across their properties to help businesses come back to work safely. We've also delivered over 1,000 meals on our ShelfStock platform since July, and it's a great proof of concept as we've validated our unit economics and delivery economics. We're currently raising $800,000 to focus on delivering on those initial orders and selling our fridges into 3 target markets. With that, we'll achieve 500 fridges in market, which will put us in line for our Series A. We plan to raise a larger Series A to focus exclusively on the software. And the goal is to eventually partner with a large fridge manufacturer. Hey, you guys are good at making fridges. The fridge business is a very boring business, but we found and are building this software platform that will connect them to kitchens and open up this whole new delivery platform. And really, that's part of our big vision. So we believe that this new compartmentalized fridge will be in every workplace in the next 15 years. And what we're building is a software platform to connect each of those fridges to kitchens and turn them into recurring revenue streams. What's also unique is that by building those daily relationships with our customers, we're going to be able to understand users and their habits and be able to use those habits to nudge them back into our platform. We've got a robust team, quite a diverse team with different sets of experience. And that's the presentation, 3 minutes.
Awesome, right on the nose, Dawson. Thanks so much for that. And for those that don't know, Dawson came through Startup TNT, but on across the border in Saskatchewan initially. So it's been really cool seeing some of the progress and iterations that y'all have made since I last saw you. We got a few questions in the chat here. So starting from Noel, how does it compare in energy efficiency? Is it better than opening all the entire fridge at one time?
Yeah, 100%. So if you just think about it, it's a 1/12 of the cubic capacity that's opened that has to be recooled every time you open the fridge. So it's much more energy efficient than the regular fridge.
And then we have another question here. Please comment on IP and patents and what stops a fridge maker from doing the same thing.
Yeah, so we have 3 patents on the product, but when we think about it, we think that as a small startup, it's still hard to compete with those fridge manufacturers. So the move to create the software platform was just as much defensive as it was offensive. And so we do believe that of those fridge manufacturers, we've run through their 10Ks. They're a very boring business, very stagnant year-over-year revenue growth. And so we believe that by creating the software platform, we've been approached by Whirlpool as well, but by focusing on the software, we'll be able to partner with the fridge manufacturer over the long term. So we plan on going to a Danby Appliances. We know Jim is still the CEO there. And so, we do a partnership. You don't have the resources to compete with the Whirlpool, but you can partner with us to do as well. I see Jim's, 100%. So we also have been approached by Motion Fitness and some other opportunities in that space as well.
Perfect. And then Mark has the same question that I initially had about it. How does it get cleaned? I know that the old office fridge gets cleaned irregularly, but how do you deal with that for these units?
Yeah, it's a great question. Really, it's the same as a regular fridge. So the end user who buys the fridge is responsible for cleaning the unit. What's great is that we found accountability is just up. If it's a regular fridge, you don't really care. You just throw your stuff in there. But when it's your own personal little cubby, we haven't had a single issue in the year and a half that we've been in business.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Dawson, for everything. And I'll kick it back to you, Adrienne.
Great. Thank you so much. So our next presenter is Braden, and he has a company called Foom, which is helping people quit smoking. And I have to say, I'm a really big fan of Joe Rogan. So I was really excited to see that he had mentioned you on one of his podcasts.
Yeah, that was a big thing for us. That was pretty exciting. Awesome. Well, thanks for everybody for sticking with it. We're getting to the end here. I'll just share my screen. Make sure everybody can see that okay. Right on. So my name is Braden. I'm the CEO and co-founder here at Fume. So smoking is the #1 cause of preventable death. There's over 1.1 billion smokers in the world, and it's estimated that every day there's over 22,000 people that are dying from smoking-related illness. And there's a good chance that somebody within your circles might be somebody that you know might have been affected by this. So the problem is that people want to quit smoking, yet less than 4% of quit attempts are actually successful. The solutions that are out there are either too clinical or addictive, and that consumers aren't wanting to trade chemicals for chemicals. So our solution is to create a product that combines the benefits of plants, behavioral science, and desirable design to create a natural, non-addictive hand-to-mouth device. So this is the Fume wooden inhaler. Fume is 100% pure natural. There's no vapor or smoke, and it's safe and verified. A Fume works by using plant-infused cores that are put inside of the Fume, and then you simply just breathe through the Fume and exhale through your nose. There's no electronics. We use a passive inhalation system. So the market opportunity, there's over 34 million smokers in the US alone, and 55.1% of smokers are making an attempt to quit yearly. The global nicotine replacement market is estimated to be at $44 billion USD and growing at a 15% compound annual growth rate. So this is how Fume stacks up against the competition. As you can see, with our unique characteristics, we really kind of create our own niche around having a natural smoking cessation product. So since we launched in 2018, Fume has done over $2.6 million in sales, and we've 100% bootstrapped this. This has been done through our e-commerce channel. And yeah, we've done over 200% year-over-year growth in 2019 and 2020. So right now we are in the process of raising $3 million to finish our product development or Fume 2.0 line, execute on retail opportunities that have come up to us, as well as do further clinical trials and research. This is our awesome team, our awesome executive team that leads our team. We have a team of about 13 based here in Calgary. So why now? Why is now the time for Fume to keep on expanding and keep on growing? There's much greater awareness right now of the need to be healthy with COVID-19. There's in general, a growing consumer desire for natural products. The Fume MVP has really proven out the market as far as showing that this is something that consumers are looking for. As well with the upcoming launch of our Fume 2.0 product line, this will provide a lot of scalability for us, as well as patents and an improved customer experience. And right now, we've also been approached with large opportunities for across Canada retail. So yeah, so I think that's it. Thanks.
Great, thanks, Braden. And coming in at 3 minutes and 5 seconds. So we have a question from Denise in the chat. So will this work for vape users to quit that as well?
Yeah, we've had quite a few customers quit vaping with our products as well.
Perfect. And are there any regulatory hurdles in terms of expansion between Canada and the US or the EU or the UK or wherever you're going to be selling your products?
So yeah, because this is a new product category, like this isn't really something that's been established before. This isn't a tobacco product. This isn't a nicotine product. So as of now, this is an unregulated industry. So though it is that, we want to be proactive in kind of checking as many boxes as we can to make sure that we're always doing things in the right way. So yeah, we're still in the process of figuring out exactly how we can sort of be proactive in that, but it's an unregulated space.
We have a couple more questions here. What Denise is asking what the stats are on success rates versus other products.
Yeah, so right now, most of our data is based on anecdotal data that's coming back from consumers. If you're interested, you can go check out on our site and read some of our reviews and see some of the feedback there. But we've recently done a survey of some customers and we're getting about 40% back. We're saying, hey, this is effective for helping me quit smoking.
Perfect. And then one last question from Anka is, so what is in the product? Like what are the people actually inhaling?
Yeah, so pretty much the formulations are actually plant extracts. So they're volatile, pretty much volatile, sort of similar to like a scent. So you're pretty much getting a slight flavor in your mouth. And then that's just sort of dissipating.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Breda. And Adrienne, back to you for the last pitch of the night.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very interesting. So our last pitch is from Alex, and this is for Houski, which is the fastest and easiest way to get a mortgage in Canada. And it was mentioned that there are shenanigan free. So over to you, Alex.
All right, let me see if I can get this working here. All right, cool. So far, so good. All right. Hello, my name is Alex Wilkinson, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Houski. Houski is a fully, Houski is a fully automated mortgage broker. We're creating an online platform that Canadian homebuyers can use to get their mortgage in minutes instead of weeks. When you're buying a house, a mortgage broker helps you by taking your mortgage application and forwarding it to a suitable mortgage lender. In the future, instead of going to a mortgage broker, Houski will help you get a mortgage. We don't actually make giant mortgage robots. That's a fun visual metaphor, but it'd be cool if we did. So over the last decade, Canada saw the stockbroker occupation largely replaced by Questrade and Wealthsimple. We expect that pattern to continue with mortgage brokers as well. So what's our progress so far? We've been building Houski for the last 9 months, and we released our MVP a few months ago. For MVP, we wanted to prove that significant automation of the mortgage process was not only technologically possible, but also well received by the market. We've seen nearly 75% of mortgage applicants enter their banking information directly into Houski. All 14 applicants that completed Houski's mortgage application did it autonomously. That's such a hard word to say. Did it autonomously. You know the word I'm trying to say. Did it autonomously? Close enough. And without contacting us, even though we prominently list 4 ways of directly contacting us on every single step. This is a promising indication that a strong market exists for an automated mortgage solution. So how is Houski's traction? You can see an increase of 750% on our landing page funnels leading to our mortgage application over the last month without increasing ad spend. It currently costs us about $75 in online advertising to get someone off the internet to fill out a mortgage application with Houski. We expect that our initial ratio for closing will be around 25%, which means that for every $300 of online ad spend, we should close a mortgage deal worth about $3,500. If the numbers work out as expected, this could be a great way to begin systematic growth immediately. Houski also has another promising rapid growth strategy. Since there's no time or personnel cost for Houski to do a mortgage, we can offer realtors and other businesses very high referral fees that are impossible for traditional mortgage brokerages to match. So who's on Team Houski? The 2 co-founders are myself and my brother Warren. I'm a software developer and I've been a mortgage broker for more than 7 years. I was the first employee of the Canadian fintech startup Finmo. We created the most popular online mortgage application in Canada, and Finmo's online application facilitates more than $5 billion of mortgage transactions every month. It's used by banks, credit unions, and mortgage brokers, and it's sold to Rocket Mortgage last year. Warren is a software developer, a quantum computer programmer, and has a master's degree from Georgia Tech in AI and machine learning. We're currently doing a seed round of $1 million with a rolling close, and over $100,000 has already been committed. The money will be used for initial hires, marketing spend, and runway as we continue to refine product market fit. So thank you for watching, and thank you for your interest in Houski.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. Coming in at 2 minutes and 48 seconds. So Jade's asking, how quick can I apply for a mortgage?
Like, you can do it right now if you want. Like, how quick can you get it, or how quick can you apply for it?
So if somebody wants to try to apply for a mortgage on using Houski, how long does it take?
It takes about probably about 4 to 5 minutes. Like as we automate more and more of the process, like we want to get the whole process down to under 10 minutes because there's still some human steps that we have to actually automate. But like the whole process, by the time we actually have the full process automated, will be like 10 minutes. Which if you've gone to a bank and for a mortgage, the actual traditional process takes about 2 weeks. So 10 minutes to 2 weeks is a huge time reduction. And we do that by with automation and by pulling the clients, instead of having people scan and upload documents, we pull as much of that stuff as possible off basically from the cloud. So that's the main time reduction right there. It's just people don't have to dig through old boxes and upload all their documents.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So another question is, what's the most effective way to grow Houski while competing with a really entrenched industry like the mortgage industry?
I like the referral fee play because that one is it's like indefensible unless someone else has automation technology, because it's just something that can't be competed with. So I think that's a very interesting area that we're looking into and basically what that means is we would go to realtor brokerages or real estate brokerages And we'd be like, hey, we'll give you 50% of the commission we're paid for doing this deal just for referring your client to us. And, you know, most brokerages could not operate with any referral fee over 30%. Like no mortgage broker can operate by giving too much of their money away. But when there's no cost actually doing the deal, no personnel costs or time costs, then it becomes feasible to offer 50% referral fees. If you were crazy, you could offer an 80% referral fee and probably have every realtor in Canada referring deals to you immediately, which would be an interesting science experiment that one day I would be interested in performing. But yeah, that's one of the ways that we thought we could penetrate the market.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Alex. That's the 5 minutes there, and I'm going to kick it back to Adrienne to say goodbye to everybody, and then I'll do a quick sort of wrap up, and we'll get everybody on their way to do whatever they're going to do tonight, which hopefully includes going to craft for a beverage of some sort.
Great. Thanks so much, Neil. I just wanted to say that was a wonderful night. It was my first time here, so I really enjoyed that. Good luck to everybody. Hope you have a great time at craft. I probably won't make it there in time for tonight, but hopefully we can see each other in person next time.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Adrienne. So in terms of just closing statements, I'll keep it short and sweet, but that was another amazing pitch night. It doesn't get harder for the investors to make a decision, and it shouldn't be. There's some great companies in Calgary, and it's really exciting to see 20 of them pitch in one evening like this. We all need to work together to see the number of startups in Calgary increasing year over year, especially those at the sort of pre-seed and seed stages, the really early ones where it's really difficult to find investors that are willing to take a risk with their capital. Startup TNT has been built from the ground up, and we're only able to do this through the support of our community. So if you or anybody you know want to be part of our community and to sponsor us, to help ensure we can do our angel investing, to help ensure we can do our education series and do cool pitch nights like this, feel free to reach out and join our community as sponsors. You'll be in great company. Once again, one last plug for Craft. So come on down to Craft at Beer Market on 10th. Have fun, make friends, help 20 entrepreneurs build great companies. And then I also want to give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors, our co-hosts, our ambassadors, our investors, our awesome entrepreneurs, and everybody watching. This couldn't be done without you. We have an event planner named Jocelyn, who somehow managed to ensure 3 simultaneous Zoom calls all went off without a hitch tonight, and all logistics were taken care of for 4 after parties. We got Brandon, he's our operations lead. He spent hundreds of hours herding us cats and detailing plans and being our go-to guy every single day throughout the year. And then another special thanks to Dom, who actually volunteered at the very first pitch night. He's previously applied as an entrepreneur, and now he's working full-time to ensure we can keep running more awesome events. So with that, everybody, thanks so much for your time. This was a ton of fun, and I hope to see you all in person here someday soon. Maybe tonight.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.